Rebecca Carson,
Here.
Stephen Elrod,
I'm here.
Leslie Fields Katz,
I'm here.
Ivan Golden, Zachary Goldman,
Here.
Richard Hillsberg,
Here.
Terry Horwitz-Cass,
Here.
Hal Krent,
Yes.
David Nyman, Robin Powers,
Here.
Jamie Rum, Jose Rivera,
Here.
I'm here, Carrie Travers,
Here.
Laura Ulrich, Tracy Whetstone.
Here.
We have a quorum. Susan, should I continue on?
Please do.
Okay, I shall. So this year, I don't need to tell this group, we celebrated our 5th anniversary and our continued growth and success despite political upheaval that's impacted policy and law and a pandemic that's crippled public health and the global economy. Through it all, we've continued to help individuals and families live productive and secure lives with access to high quality pro bono legal representation in the areas of immigration, housing, and domestic violence. I cannot say it enough. Thank you. Thank you to our supporters, our board of directors, our staff, and our volunteers. Each play a critical role in our success and in turn the success and survival of those whom we are proud to serve. This year, the COVID-19 pandemic presented the perfect storm where many not-for-profits were forced to lay off staff, close offices, and turn away people in need. Conversely, the clinic further extended our reach and our growth. Through strategic planning and collaboration with our partners, we discovered efficiencies and new ways of delivering advocacy, education, and services. We continue to play an important role in protecting our clients' rights and in making the communities that we serve in North Suburban Cook County and throughout Lake County better places to live and work. As a legal organization representing those most impacted by an unjust society, we are proud that every single day over the last 5 years, we have fundamentally improved access to justice. It's not enough, sorry about the barking dog, it's not enough to have a system of laws if thousands of people we call neighbors do not have access or believe they do not have access to that system. Clinic lawyers, staff, the board of directors, volunteers, partners, and students do all that they can to make the basic responsibility of ensuring that the justice system is available to all. Each of us takes on even greater responsibility through our work for future generations to make sure that the justice system we hand them remains true to its founding values. For the hundreds of neighbors living in fear, uncertain about their future or that of their family, the clinic is where they come to find peace, hope, and security. As we continue our work in the year ahead, we remain vigilant in our commitment to justice. We will continue to combine our efforts, our voices, our compassion, and our collective desire to help our neighbors live productive and secure lives. So we know that our annual event was canceled, but our commitment to providing accessible, vital pro bono legal services to those in need in the areas of domestic violence, housing, and immigration remains a priority. And here's a video that shows how the North Suburban Legal Aid Clinic has served as a beacon of hope for those in need over the last 5 years.
We have the best justice system in the world. It is meaningless if someone does not have access to an attorney.
When you step back and look at when somebody is at the most extreme part of their life, it's going to be if they're about to lose their home, if their family is about to be broken apart, or if they need to protect their own life and safety. We decided to focus in on immigration, housing, and domestic violence.
Having access to an attorney makes such a difference to an individual who is in need. To somebody who is an immigrant, I think it increases the likelihood of being successful on an immigration remedy by 50%. In terms of housing, when someone loses their home, the likelihood that they're going to spiral down into poverty increases dramatically. It increases the likelihood of success by 90%. It is estimated that 1 in 3 women in their lifetime will be the survivors of domestic violence. A statistic that I often like to share is that when a survivor of domestic violence, when the perpetrator either grabs her throat, touches her throat, in any way gets near her throat, at that time, the risk of her being killed escalates 760%. And we see at least one person like that in our office a week.
I learned, sadly, that there is a tremendous need for legal aid. There's a tremendous need to provide people with access to justice right in our own backyard. Our client base is composed of individuals and families that have established a home or a community in the north suburbs.
At this point, we are seeing about half of our cases in the immigration space. But if you're an undocumented family, you may be having housing issues. You may be dealing with domestic violence. That's the importance of recognizing how those practice areas can blend and provide services across all three.
The clinic is going to take your hand. It's going to help you to go to a long process that sometimes is really difficult for people to navigate. You can come and talk with the confidence that nobody is going to go outside and talk about your issues.
You know what truly impresses me is the combination of attorneys and staff that are really of the highest quality, providing legal services in the most compassionate and neighborly way. And what I've seen is that these individuals that have been initially reluctant to seek the need have benefited tremendously from those services.
Every single day, we're doing something to help families stay together, to help people remain safe and part of our community. It has been a great joy to see folks go through the naturalization process and become citizens of the United States. But I also know about specific stories where we've literally saved lives.
Many people who came to the clinic at the beginning told us, oh, we have to wait because we didn't have enough money to pay for a person and then to pay for the fees. And now at least we have the money for the fees and we don't need to do anything else.
We provide all of our services free. We are completely pro bono to our clients. In order for the lights to be turned on and for our attorneys to be paid, we have to receive funding.
We work hard at the clinic to provide a highly trained and professional staff. It is something that does require financial assistance. We've been fortunate to have so many people give to this organization. We ask you to please consider protecting your neighbor, being part of a community. It's a wonderful feeling.
By supporting the clinic, you provide people with access to justice and give them more productive and secure lives.
Please continue to support the North Suburban Legal Aid Clinic. We need to have the resources to meet the ever-growing needs of people in our community at their most vulnerable times. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Jack, for playing that, and thank you to everybody who has made those stories and more stories to come possible. Much appreciated. At this time, I'd like to recognize the following incoming board members and those who are being recognized for another term of service. Thank you to each of these directors for their service to the North Suburban Legal Aid Clinic and their dedication to our mission and vision. Our new director is Tracy Whetstone. Welcome, Tracy. And I would like to renominate board members who will be beginning another term: Richard Hillsberg, David Nyman, myself, and Jamie Rum. And recognize our outgoing board members. These members have been with the clinic since the beginning and have contributed so much. Their valuable insight, commitment, and leadership helped us open our doors more than 5 years ago. and their presence and participation will be missed. Tatiana Alonso, Charo Mendoza, and Gail Brown. Gail, I think you're here. You were here, you were gone, now you're back. Gail. All right, well, Gail was texting with me, and Gail was absolutely vital in putting together the Human Services Task Force, the entity that helped us realize that there was a need for access to justice in our community. We will miss her greatly. We'll miss Tatiana and we'll miss Charo. They were wonderful members of our board and greatly appreciated. At this time, it's an honor to install the North Suburban Legal Aid Clinic 2020-2021 officers. I will be the chair for another year. Robin Powers, vice chair. Zachary Goldman as treasurer. David Nyman, ex officio. Richard Hillsberg, executive committee. Jamie Rum, executive committee. And then I'd like to recognize our board members, Rebecca Carson, Steve Elrod, Ivan Golden, Terry Cass, Leslie Katz, Hal Krent, Jose Rivera, Carrie Travers, Laura Ulrich, and again, Tracy Whetstone. At this time, I would like to recognize our dedicated executive director, Susan Schulman. A leader's job is to match talent to task and show appreciation. Susan and her team deserve much appreciation always, and even more so as they respond quickly to every challenge that comes their way. This is an unbelievable group of humans. Susan, I invite you to provide an organization update.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Wow, I was watching that video and my, how things have changed. I couldn't get over all the people walking around without masks and everybody in the office working close together. And like Leah, who noticed was in the chat, I was missing everyone too. So that was, and what an amazing video. And one thing about that video too is, my goodness, like that is the kind of difference we're making in people's lives. And that is what the clinic is all about. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Susan Schulman. I am the Executive Director of the North Suburban Legal Aid Clinic. It has been my honor, truly, to lead a staff of talented professionals and volunteers. I am grateful to work with a board that is dedicated to our mission. Truly, I always say that when I'm talking to funders. The continued generosity of our donors and supporters has enabled us to reach over 2,600 clients in our first 5 years. The clinic's mission is to provide high quality, accessible, pro bono legal services in the areas of immigration, domestic violence, and housing, to give those in need of access to justice the opportunity to live productive and secure lives. We help those at 250% of the federal poverty guidelines, which works out to about $65,500 a year for a family of 4. However, we have no income levels for domestic violence survivors. Oh my, this year we celebrated our 5-year anniversary. What a year. The clinic continues to grow. You saw some of that in the video, but I'm going to just reiterate. When the clinic was founded in 2015, there were 70 cases, a budget of $20,000, and a part-time executive director. Fast forward to today, we serve 2 communities. We serve many communities, excuse me. We now have a budget of over 1 million, a staff of 14 and a half, and we will be close to 1,000 cases this year. Specifically, our immigration practice, over 400 cases this year compared to 384 in all of 2019. Domestic violence is already at 240 cases this year compared to 224 in all of 2019. And finally, housing is at 150 already. It has also been a year of challenges. COVID-19 has most definitely had an impact on our clients and how we serve them. We have shifted to working virtually, doing almost all of our client interactions either over the phone or via video call. We have also seen how COVID-19 has disproportionately impacted the immigrant community and the fear associated with asking for help due to the change in the public charge rule. We were warned that to expect an increase of 25% in domestic violence cases due to the pandemic, only to experience a 44% increase in those cases. And I can tell you, the attorneys in our domestic violence practice are absolutely at capacity. Housing cases have quadrupled after the onset of the pandemic, and while the eviction moratorium is still in place, we expect it to be lifted in 2021, creating even more demand. But as always, we met those challenges. We got creative with fundraising, strategically used those funds. We hired a director of housing and plan to hire another housing attorney. We also hired a new staff attorney and a social worker in domestic violence. And this week, I'm happy to say our new intake specialist, Diana Alvarez, joined us, which has just been great. Despite the pandemic, our work continues seamlessly and has been ever enhanced with outreach, education, and fundraising, and special projects such as a full month of programming for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and the launch of the bananabreadhelp.com with the Vernon Public Library. You're on TV for that. And an upcoming legislative meeting coordinated by our advocacy committee. Now I'd like to take a little time to say thank you to a bunch of you. First, this organization is only as good as its staff, and we have the best staff, the most incredible staff. So I'm going to recognize them. Rebecca Weiniger, Director of Domestic Violence Law Practice. She's waving her hand. Yay. Leah Kim Yee, Director of Immigration Law Practice. Noreen Kim, Director of Housing Law Practice. Matt Guthrie, DV staff, Domestic Violence Staff Attorney. Alana Forbes, Domestic Violence Staff Attorney. Ken Willer, Immigration Staff Attorney. Esteban Carbajal, fully accredited DOJ. Sarah Dinson, partially accredited DOJ. Jean Hahn, Immigration Staff Attorney. Rachel Doherty, Immigration Assistant. Alyssa Noble, Communications and Development Director. Jan Baranchak, Director of Operations. Alicia De La Cruz, Director of Client Services. Joanne Lee, Fundraising Coordinator. Diana Valrez, our newest employee intake specialist. Jack Ahern, AmeriCorps Vista, and making all of this possible. And Jesse Becker, our newest AmeriCorps Vista. I want to make sure to thank, they are awesome. Please give them lots of applause. They deserve it. They absolutely deserve it. I also want to thank my wonderful, incredible board who set policy and provides critical support and guidance. I could not do it without you. Thank you so much for all that you do. Members of the attorney and community advisory boards who serve as pro bono attorneys, committee members, and strong supporters of the clinic. Finally, as many of you know, we are in the middle of our fall campaign. So I would ask each of you to consider, if you have not done so already, or perhaps if you are moved to do a little more, please support us as we begin our next chapter of growth. Please go to www.nslegalaid.org/donate. Once again, thank you for all of your support, and what a 5 years it has been. Thank you.
Fantastic. And I'll just echo Susan with my thanks and appreciation. The stories abound, and the commitment of our staff and our executive director in particular just are so greatly appreciated. With that, I think I need to seek a motion to adjourn this annual meeting, but it's so much fun to see everybody. I just want to say good health and best wishes to everybody. And is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Move to adjourn the meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Everybody be well, and thanks again for all of your support of the North Suburban Legal Aid Clinic. Take care.
Thank you, Nancy.
Bye,
Susan.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Stay safe. Bye.